Greetings and salutations.
Hey guys, it's me, Sam. This is the After the Bars podcast. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, man. All I want to do is play my my new sub sound, and it's not even playing right now. Oh man, that's so funny. I had totally a sound effect ready to play, and it's not even playing right now. Happy Friday to you guys, though. So good to be here. I am really happy to be here, to be with you guys. Sorry I'm late. I just had a family matter. Marianne and I just need to have a discussion just about, just about Hazley and what we're doing over the summer. And it's just a conversation that needed to happen right away. And so we were able to have that conversation. Thank you so much for all the well wishes, from you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Yeah, everything is okay. Yeah, we're just working things out with finding things for Hazley to do and to keep her busy. Anyways, how are you guys today? I'm going to talk about Officer Dever and Commissioner Cox. I'm going to play some footage that hasn't been played, with the other creators haven't played this previous statement. I think it goes to show just prior knowledge and how he just like claimed like no knowledge, and he was kind of stunned by it. He's a politician. This cat is a smooth politician, like no other. I mean, he has to be. He's the police commissioner of Boston. Think about that for a minute. Whitey Bulger, shady Hank Brennan from, even back in the day. That entire culture, Southie and South Boston, the gang activity, all the prior corruption to the Karen Reed trial, in Canton, Mass. To be in the position to be commissioner, I assure you, he's taken bribes. He's lied. He's politicked. Meaning he's been a man about the town, and I assure you that he knows a hell of a lot more than he's claiming to. And so we're just going to go over some of the statements that he's made over the past month since Dever's testimony at the Karen Reed trial. And then after that, we are going to talk about Proctor. I'm sure you guys have seen, especially the Free Karen Reed supporters I have in the audience. I'm sure you guys have all seen all the other creators talk about this. I just want to give my 2 cents into the topic, and it's just something nice and light that we can talk about on a Friday. Don't want to keep it too heavy. It's been a pretty heavy week with all the Epstein stuff and the Carmelo Anthony stuff, and it promises to be a heavy week next week. There's a rumor out there that, and I don't like to talk about rumors. I've said it before. There's a rumor out there that Trump is going to make some kind of proclamation or announcement or something regarding Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Who knows what that is? I think it's highly unlikely that he would fire them for the Epstein file fiasco, and that's what I'm calling it, the Epstein file fiasco. I think it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen, but you never know. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully everyone's having a blessed day, and that God is looking down upon you, and that you are being kind and intrusively kind to others. I am Sam. This is After the Bars, and I will be right back. text. My own ideas. All righty, guys. Thank God it's Friday again. I was just sitting there while the intro was playing. That man, I am so glad it's Friday. I am so glad it's Friday. And it doesn't mean because I need to take a break from the show. Never that. I could do a show tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, if I had the time. But I'm just glad that I'm going to get to spend some time with the fam, just us three, and just hang out over the weekend, because it's been a pretty busy week. It's been a hectic week, and next week promises to be hectic too. So I'm really stoked it's Friday. So hopefully you guys too are excited about today. I don't know where we should start today. Let's start in the chat and see who's in the house and how everyone's doing. Catty Connie and Loudmouth Linda in the house. Good to see you. Cheryl's in the house. Good to see you. John Mazan, always in the house, and one of my wonderful moderators. Thank you so much for all your help, brother. I did see your vacation pictures, and they're amazing. You guys look so happy. And Kaylee looks super happy. Sorry I didn't see those before. I don't know how when I seen your other email that I missed that one. Shout out to the new mods for sure. Shout out to Mac from Surviving Together. Good to see Mac. How are you? Hopefully you are blessed. Shell W's in the house. Good morning to you, Shell, or good afternoon rather. Blah blah Thea's in the house. I haven't seen blah blah in a long time. I just want to say blah blah for the rest of the show and then play the outro. Just blah blah blah. I really do. Cliff Van Ferguson, how you doing, Cliff Van? So good to see you. And Kim from My Other's Keepers here. Good to see you, Kim. Darcy's in the house. Kat K in the house. Good to see both of you guys. Legal Livewire is in the house. Good to see Legal Livewire. Wait a minute, that's me. Be sure to go check out Legal Livewire Court Cam if you guys ever get a chance. That's my other channel where we show court hearings, cases, trials, mostly docket sheets. I follow a few judges that are out there in Texas, Michigan, Florida, Washington, and they're really good judges. They're characters all in their own right, and they're really fun to watch. Danette McClure, good morning to you or good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Hopefully everyone that I just announced is still in the chat. And I love you too, John, brother. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's still there. I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. I do know this. I have fancy buttons now that I can zoom in and zoom out. That's fun. And I made my own laugh. So now I don't have to, when I'm feeling down and out and I need a laugh, I can just punch in a laugh. And then you guys will go, what? All right. I'm going to stop playing now. Okay, let's get into this. Boston Police Commissioner responds to Officer Kelly Devers' testimony. Basically, Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox was asked Thursday for the first time about references to him and his department during testimony in the Karen retrial. Well, that's not necessarily true. And we're going to play the first time he talked about it. And let's play that right now. Before we play, this is the one that people aren't playing. I don't know if people forgot it was out there or they just they're just letting this guy get away with pretending to be aloof about the whole situation. I don't know, but it's a trip. It's totally got me tripped out. All right, here we go.
Now at 5, leading Boston police into the future. Mayor Michelle Wu introduces the city's new top cop, police commissioner, and Roxbury native Michael Cox. Cox takes over 13 months after Boston's last police commissioner was forced out.
Did you have a conversation with anybody in the commissioner's office at Boston Police Department?
Not about anything malicious.
I didn't use the word malicious. Why do you say malicious?
I had a conversation, but
each thing is heightened. Social media plays a big part of that. Everyone's a reporter now, not just a normal report. So it gets reported out tremendously. And so
You were asked to go to the commissioner's office, correct?
yes,
How long had you been on the Boston Police Department at the time that you were invited to go up to Commissioner Michael Cox's office?
we will come up with another plan in the future to see if we can try to address it even more.
Did you find it unusual would you call yourself a rookie back then?
yes,
Would you find,
Sorry to interrupt, but here's the deal. Because he claims, because in his recent statement, he's just like, oh, what, I'm out of the loop on that. He claims like he didn't even know about, John O'Keefe's situation at all. And that's one of his officers was found dead on another police officer's lawn. And in this interview, he's talking about how, oh yeah, we need to nip social media. It heightens everything, makes everyone more aware with YouTubers and social media. But he claims to be unawares. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't believe him. He's a liar. They're both liars. I mean, look at my thumbnail. That's exactly how I believe. You don't even have to guess on how I believe about it.
did you find it unusual that a rookie police officer
Or what I
would be
think.
called up to the commissioner's office personally?
But the reality is, if there's no accountability, particularly if I was a young person, if I had no accountability at home, I don't know what kind of trouble I could have gotten into. I was more worried about, my parents finding out about my activity than there was about anything else. I wasn't afraid of the police. I didn't know anything about the police.
But I was afraid of my parents.
Correct, and disappointing them.
Yes.
In the standards that they set.
I don't know anyone else who's been in this particular circumstance.
Do you know anybody else who's been called up to the commissioner's office at your level at Boston Police Department?
One of the biggest ways you can prevent is having a presence, being out there, being about. And we had many, many officers there.
Did you tell these law enforcement officers that you, in fact, saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sally Port with the
Objection.
SUV? May I finish my question?
He can finish this question. Go ahead.
Did you tell those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023, that you saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sally Port together and alone with the SUV for a wildly long time?
That was my recollection at the time.
So you did say that?
At the time, that is what I recollected.
Okay.
Now, people are pretty brazen sometimes, and they still do it even in front of people. And
When you went up to the commissioner's office, did you respond to his indication that he wanted to see you up in his office?
It wasn't a direct line of contact from him.
Okay. Did you respond? Did you ultimately go? That's what I mean by respond. Did you go to his office?
He's my boss, so yes.
Okay. And who else was in that office?
Me and him. The two of us.
General counsel.
God, she was an awful witness, wasn't she? Man, she was just awful and just a hostile, lightweight, combative, oppositional witness, and just another embarrassment to the justice system out there in Massachusetts. Absolutely.
The Boston Police Department?
No, it's just me and him.
And a lot of the young folks we're encountering that seem that they have no accountability.
Yeah.
They're not even thinking about it. As a matter of fact, that they seem to be very cognizant of the laws and things of that nature. And that's sad. That's a trend I hope we were able to get in front of a little bit here.
He said nothing with the intent of guiding me one way or the
I asked you
other.
what his intent was, madam. I asked you what he said to you. What were his words to you?
She was waiting for an
That he
objection.
supports me.
And
Just wanted me to tell the truth up here.
his words were, do the right thing, correct?
I don't recall.
And we're not going to
Wow, man. Wow. She's such a liar.
keep working, but it's not a state of emergency. But we do need to, pay attention and never become complacent.
Never become complacent.
That's not a yes or a no answer.
Well, yes, it actually is, Ms. Dever.
So no comments, okay? Just
You understand the question?
The question, yes. The implication,
The question is.
Don't worry about
in any of those-
implications. That's when you know someone's lying on the stand. When they're worried about the implications of their answers, that means they're going to answer to what they're already thinking ahead of what the implications can be. And so they're answering to what the least damage will do to what they feel their implications will cause, I guess, in a Sam Splain sort of way.
I'm asking you an open-ended question. In any of those cases, Officer Dever,
Hey, Caroline.
not including this one, as Commissioner Michael Cox ordered you up to his office to discuss your testimony.
no.
Thank you.
now you're going to stay with us.
Yes.
Okay. Our conversation with Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox continues.
The defense released a timeline right prior to the first trial that the vehicle on that day did not arrive in the Sally Port until about an hour and a half after I left, meaning it is not possible that I saw that.
I knew it happened at that time,
How did you
which is
know it
why I
happened?
said it,
How did you know it happened, Ms. Roberts, if no one told you it happened?
because we wrote a timeline. We already spoke about
So
that.
the timeline that Jennifer McCabe helped you with, that influenced your testimony in front of the grand jury, correct?
They were essentially telling me what they were looking for me to say on the stand.
What were they looking for you to say?
They were looking for me to say that I saw Higgins and Berkowitz in the garage with the car.
Garage.
You had worked out with Carrie in that timeline meeting, wasn't it? That was the everything you were referring to, correct?
Incorrect. We never worked together to come up with the story. We have the facts, and the everything was a comment about your client.
And the everything was a comment about dude. Okay, let's get over to Police Commissioner Cox and what he said just 2 days ago now, or maybe it was a day ago. I don't know. I'm always late, but I always have something to say.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever. The defense implied that you influenced her testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case. I have an organization full of over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that, I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do.
Well, that was a very telling statement. If you want to work here and you want to remain here, I think were his exact words. Or no, if you want to work here and belong here, then you better say the right thing. That's what I heard. I don't know about you guys.
Karen Reed, no discussion
Did
about
you
Karen.
tell Officer Dever to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So
See, that's not, it was a yes or no question. No, I didn't. And then, but he wants to cover his ass and say, oh, I didn't even know she was associated with that thing. No, I didn't tell her that. Someone who wasn't lying or who was innocent or of what he's being accused of would have just absolutely said, and this isn't just yeah, it could be said one way or another. No, this is what you would have said. No, I didn't. I never met with her. I never met with her or told her shit. but he can't say that because they have to think ahead of what happens if they're in front of a grand jury, or what happens if they're being questioned by the FBI, which they will be very soon.
I don't know. I was struck. Like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I've never have said those words together. And so the fact is, it's much to do about nothing.
Much to do about nothing. And now his handler or his public relations officer tries to get, break him free.
We have employees here that we have to develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you feel that you were inappropriately drawn into this as some sort of
Here? Thank you. That's enough.
And, we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. I was in the state of Michigan.
Thank you.
He said he was in the state of Michigan. What the F does that mean? You were in the state of Michigan when John O'Keefe was unalived? You were in the state of Michigan when Dever says she talked to you? Which is it? Well, one of you's lying, or both of you are lying. I think it's the latter. I think both of them are lying out their ass for sure, 1,000%.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from
This is
Officer Kelly
a different
Dever.
angle.
The defense implied that you influenced your testimony.
We'll watch
Do you
it
want
one
to
more time.
respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case. I have an organization full of over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that,
What?
I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. No discussion.
Did you tell Officer Dever to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, I don't know. I was struck. Like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I've never have said those words together. And so the fact is, it's much to do about nothing. We have employees here that we have to develop.
You see him swallow air? That's a pretty good tell of someone coming up with the story, nervous, anxious, when they start swallowing air, when you're talking and you go and you do that, just know some bullshit's about to follow, or they're in the middle of some bullshit. Absolutely. You know what? Let's watch him do it again. I wish Ben Bacon Bits was here. He would tell you.
It's much to do about nothing. We have employees here.
Yeah, he's swallowing air. It's a body language tell. It has to be. I mean, I've known it just from being a people person and being around a ton of liars in prison. So I know this fool's lying.
Develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you feel that you were inappropriately drawn into this as some sort of boogeyman?
That case is over, and we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. I was in the state of Michigan.
He said he was in the state of Michigan.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever.
The different
defense implied that you
one step forward from where he's been.
All right, let's chat about this for a second before I talk about old Proctor. Hey, Matrika, good to see you. Yeah, with that statement alone, I know he's lying. Absolutely, it's unbelievable. Yep, Caroline says they're both lying for sure. Lying and him laughing. Yeah, the laughing is another good tell. Yep. When you start laughing, because that reporter's asking serious questions. He's not trying to be funny. There's nothing funny about it at all. One of your officers is dead, and the killer is still out there. Karen Reed was just found innocent. It's not a funny matter. Like, we're laughing at it. We're laughing at the lying, not at the incident. He's laughing at the incident for real. And we're not the commissioner of the Boston Police Department. So, yeah, much to do about nothing. Thanks, Caroline. I noticed that too. I noticed that too. Incarnasoul's in the house also. How are you doing, Incarnasoul? Good to see you. Yep, liar, liar. Scientology's acceptable truth, diversion strategy. Yep, 1000%. We know someone else who participates in that, don't we? Let me just go back a little bit. All right, not too much going on in the chatty chat. So, next topic. Let's talk about Proctor for just a second. Also, guys, either tomorrow or maybe Sunday night, I think, I have a ton of things I want to talk about the Epstein file fiasco. I want to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell a little bit, and I want to go over her indictment and part of her statement. Not part of it, but just the question she was asked, the proof that was provided and her given to her during her statement, and what her answers were. And I think we need answers. Not I think we need answers. We need answers because Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are telling us there's nothing to be seen. There's nothing to be talked about, that it's over. And I wish it was over. I really do. I hate making those Epstein thumbnails and titles for the videos. I really do. I wish it was over, but we can't stop talking about it until we get answers. There's so many victims out there that I don't want victimized at all. I really don't. But I want their perpetrators who victimized these young ladies to be brought to justice, as well it does all of you, I know, as well as most of YouTube, I know, which includes most of America. We want what was promised, and I think this administration and this party, they held the Democrats responsible for that information not getting to us. And now that we've given the Republicans a mandate to give us, for transparency and to give us the information, we want to know where it's at. And where they really effed up is saying that they've seen it, that they're reading it, that they're visualizing it, and that there's a list, and that the list is long, and that they have hotel receipts and flight logs. Yeah, that's we need to know. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit more next week or over the weekend. I have all the documents from Ghislaine Maxwell's indictment and her case from start to finish. And if one thing in there is true, then we're being lied to. And so, which is it? If none of it was true, then we need to free Ghislaine Maxwell, which I don't believe we do. I think she's a sick F. But if what we're being told, it's just more proof to the lie and the corruption, to the deceit. It really is. It's just more proof. All right, let's get to Proctor. I haven't read this. So Michael Proctor is appealing over state police termination, and he's moving forward with the hearing. Let's check that out. I'm going to need to drink some water before I get into this. This is how I know it's Friday, because I can't talk. Like, my voice can't talk, not that I can't think. So, Michael Proctor's appeal over state police termination moves forward with the hearing. The since fired lead Massachusetts State Police investigator in the case against Karen Reed appeared at Tuesday's virtual hearing before members of the Civil Service Commission on Tuesday. Lead Karen Reed investigator Michael Proctor's efforts to appeal his firing as a Massachusetts State Police trooper continues. He appeared at a virtual hearing on Tuesday. Proctor was fired in March after an internal investigation announced in the wake of Reed's first trial sustained allegations of misconduct, including over derogatory text messages, sharing information with people outside the department, and drinking alcohol on duty. Just that alone should have him fired completely. End of story. End of story. He was bar hopping in a cruiser on duty, basically. Tuesday's procedural hearing was part of his appeal to the State Civil Service Commission and an independent body that adjudicates. Yeah, I have a legal channel. It's called Legal Lifewire. Adjudicates issues involving state and local worker discipline, layoffs, alleged violations of state civil service law, and more. He told Dateline last month he wanted his job back. He sure did. And you know what? And you know what we all did? What? Yeah, I was like, what? What is going on? This dude has lost his mind. Have you ever had a moment of poor lapse of judgment when you're just airing something out on your personal phone? He said it in that interview. And look, I've talked about this before. I've talked about this before because you know what? Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt for 1 second. Let's just say he didn't do any of the other things, right? That it's just the text messages. Look, I've had inappropriate banter with people regarding others in a HIPAA situation. And it felt harmless at the time, right? Someone tell me about one of their patients, laughing about it. It wasn't like ritual abuse or anything like that. Just laughing about addiction, really. And we were all addicts in the group that were talking about it, but we all knew that he was, breaking HIPAA. No, we didn't have a name, but he was giving us personal information about a patient of his. And there was a girl and of hers. And now I feel differently about that. I feel like, no, that was wrong. All of us knew it. One of us should have said, hey, bro, that's HIPAA. And you know what? He would have been like, oh yeah. And she would have went like, oh yeah. And you know what? And I felt like that's what Bukkake should have done. He should have said, hey, whoa, stop. You know what I mean? He was his supervisor. And I guess what I'm saying is that I know how easy it can be to do. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt on the text messages, except for the things he was saying. They were identified to a person, and he wasn't saying very flattering things. He was saying very ugly things, talking about her personal medical issues that he had become aware of by using a colostomy bag, I think, or something like that. I have friends that have colostomy bags, and it's sad. They're super they feel some kind of way about it, I guess is the best way for me to put it. It affects their mental health, that they have to have it, things like that. So I would give him the benefit of the doubt because I've been in a similar situation where someone was kind of breaking the rules a little bit, regarding inappropriate texting. And like he said, have you ever had a day where, or an off moment, in your life? And, I could say, yeah, absolutely. But his was a little bit more than that. So that's why he can't be let off the hook. State police have said they were confident the evidence against Proctor was sufficient for civil service to affirm the police chief's decision to terminate Proctor. Colonel Jeffrey Noble, who leads the department, briefly addressed Proctor's appeal in an NBC 10 Boston interview last week. He remains terminated at this point, and I certainly understand that he has every right to go through a process, and I understand that the process is ongoing. That process does not include state police. Let's see what this fool has to say.
If you know luxury,
it's
not just
about mattresses.
It's rewarding. Sattva Mattresses supports all types of
Sorry, guys, we gotta watch this ad.
luxury is handcrafted and
How
assembled
about
in
Boston
American
10
factories
News
and
for all you
brought
Karen Reed
directly to you
supporters?
with our complimentary
What a great
in-home
source for
delivery
information.
and
I
setup
mean,
service, which
they
is
really
why
have
over
their
90% of customers would recommend
they really have
Sattva
taken
to
the lead
friends
on
and family.
that.
Sattva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
Colonel, can you give me
Here we
any
go.
sense of the reasoning behind the recently announced
I didn't hear the
campaign
question.
to build public trust and where that reasoning came from?
Absolutely. I think my main mission in coming here and when I was appointed by Governor Healy was to conduct a full assessment of the operations of the Massachusetts State Police, and that's a
I know
promise.
he's kind of hard to
that I made
hear.
to the people of Massachusetts, certainly to the governor, and to most importantly troopers. I stand ready, willing, and able to conduct that assessment, to execute on the promises that I made to the Commonwealth, and that promise includes always looking at ways in which we can do better.
He's basically just talking about ways that they can do better as a whole together, as a team, as a force, to protect the public and how they can have better oversight over their officers. That's all he was saying. The hearing before the members of Civil Service Commission on Tuesday afternoon was made public following a request from state police. A commission lawyer told NBC 10 recording was not allowed. Dressed in a suit and tie, Proctor spoke briefly as the meeting began, saying, "Good afternoon, sir," to Commission Chair Chris Bowman. The meeting was procedural, reviewing how appeal would unfold. A full in-person hearing is scheduled for mid-August, and checking in on the disagreement over evidence the lawyers for Proctor and state police were seeking in the case. The lawyers said they had reached an agreement before the hearing involving a trip to a police facility together to pull records they were seeking. The good news is I believe I can work through as much of these discovery issues as exit. Proctor attorney Denial Mohanan said the only downside is I believe it's going to take longer than we anticipated.
1 second.
Well,
there, neighbor,
that's
you
just
might.
the interview he did on Dateline, so we're going to skip that. And we're at the end of it. Bowman stressed that it would be difficult to postpone the August hearing dates, at least for today. What I'm saying is try it to and continue those cooperative efforts that we're all grateful for. Try and move heaven and earth to get this done. Proctor's lawyers also confirmed to Bowman that Proctor's information has been listed by the Post Commission, which certifies state and local law enforcement officers. The website lists Proctor, who remains certified as an officer in Massachusetts, though without a law enforcement agency. So he could go to work somewhere else. He just really wants to stick it to Karen Reed and everyone, and just to say like, look, haha, I got my job back with the state troopers. But he could go work as a Boston PD, Canton PD, any police agency in Massachusetts. He's certified to work for. But he brings a lot of baggage. You know what I mean? He brings the media to that will put that agency under a microscope, and no one wants that. So he's trying to get his job back. I get it. He definitely needs to do something because he's put on like 300 pounds. That's a lot of stress donuts. But I can't talk because I put on like 50 pounds over stress donuts. Donuts and Pepsi. 1000%. I don't know how much of this you guys have seen before today. Probably a lot. You know, I'm always a day late. Hey, Misha, good to see you. Charmaine Hensley, good to see you. And Carnoso's in the house. Sumatrika. Who else is here? Did I miss? Of course, Cat K. Okay, that's really it. Cat K says, Sammy, did you read the report that Bongino and Bondi got into because she is throwing he and Patel under the bus? Bongino didn't show up for work. Bondi needs to go. Yeah, Bondi needs to go. Or Blondie. Yeah, that's perfect. I know that's a typo on purpose. Yeah, she sure does. You know, I'm gonna go check that out right now as soon as I hit end stream. I definitely want to see that. Because you know, she said it was on her desk for review. Now she's saying in that weird, I didn't cover it, but it was the cabinet meeting where Trump, you know, tried to deflect and say, oh, you know, we have a lot of serious things with Texas and, you know, we're doing a lot of great things. You know what? I would have gave it to him. And you guys know I love Trump, man. I love Trump, but it's waning. It's waning. I would have let Trump get away with that deflection because you know what? Texas is serious, right? Finding those kids dead or alive is serious business. As a parent, I would want my child back. I'm going to start crying. I would want my child back. I would want my child back like right now, you know, dead or alive. And so I would give Trump, God, man, it's the weirdest things hit me at the weirdest times doing this job. God dang. I would have let Trump get away with that, but then he tried to talk about all the great things that he's doing, you know, in the same sentence. And I just think it really minimized his point in saying, like, why are you trying to talk about Epstein right now when we have this recovery mission going on in Texas? And no, he had to throw in like, and we're doing all these great things that we could be talking about. Shut up, dude. Shut up. You're an idiot right now. So he just knows he's going to have to fire some people. He knows it. And it sucks for him because we all loved Blondie, and we love Cash and Bongino. At least I did. But it's past tense, man. It's past tense. They got to go. That's the first time I've said it. But yeah, they got to go. Dang, why do they have Gary Coleman on there? That's his ex. Oh, she was a trip. Do you guys remember that?
It's probably one of the best, most wonderful, empowering and powerful sensations I've ever had in my entire 40 years of existence. She's a good kisser. Yeah.
But while things seem great on the outside, in the new special, some of Gary's closest friends claim they had serious issues with Shannon from the very beginning.
Shannon became downright abusive. She began to reference him as a short little son of a. I yelled back into the phone.
Wow, we should cover that
to
story.
Gary that way.
While Shannon denies any violence between her and Gary, cops were called to their home for domestic disputes several times, and they would even eventually appear on an episode of Divorce Court in 2008.
I remember
ending their
that.
marriage soon after.
If he doesn't get his way, he throws a temper tantrum like a 5-year-old does.
I can't continue to take it, having a temper like that where I'm having trouble breathing because I get so angry.
However, the couple would be on and off again until the day of his tragic fall on May 26, 2010.
911, let's see, I just see emergency. I had my husband go make me some food downstairs. He just got home. I heard this big bang. I went downstairs, blood everywhere.
One of Gary's former girlfriends prior to Shannon, Anna Gray, sits down in the special and reveals that she was in a relationship with Gary when he met Shannon. And the three lived together until Anna claims Shannon forced Gary to choose between them. She says once she heard about Gary's death, something didn't feel right.
Little by little, I started to feel like there was something more to Gary's death. than just a simple accident.
And she wasn't the only one. The media also fueled the murder rumor fire, and even though it was ruled an accident, questions about Shannon always lingered. So she agreed to the lie detector test, hoping it will clear the air once and for all.
Did you physically cause?
Please tell me she failed that lie detector.
And the results are you failed that exam with deception indicated to those relevant questions.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
that didn't go too well. But Shannon still maintains her innocence, and you can watch it all unfold tomorrow at 9 on A&E.
Oh, we're gonna have to follow that story because we are a true crime channel. Yes, we are. We're gonna have to follow that story.
Don't be ridiculous, Andre.
So thank you, Carney. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, things can hit you different when you're a parent. Absolutely. And I get angry too when we start talking about child abuse and what I would do. Like I've edited things that I was saying in real time, and I've gone back and edited videos and had to take out things where I've said, I will basically unalive somebody if they hurt one of my daughters. So yeah, things do hit you different. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Cat K says, I will give you something to look up to get mad about. Google Sadie Perkins. I got so angry yesterday. I had to turn everything off and get my Bible. I don't understand hate-filled people. Okay, let me write that down. Oh, I had a pen on me earlier. Somebody took it. Why do I never have a pen here? Okay, I'm gonna screenshot it. Well, what's funny is that you're giving me something to get mad about. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get mad. It's so funny. Thank you, Cat K. I appreciate you. If anyone else has got any questions or comments you guys want to comment on Proctor or Michael Cox, we can talk about it. My headphones just unplugged. Hey, but I'm not wearing them. Who got a 15-month sentence? I'm interested. Me either, Misha. I hadn't heard about that either. When I first seen his face over there, I was like, "Oh, did he pass away?" Or I thought, I think he passed away a long time ago. But no, it sounds like it might be something pretty recent. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out. And if it's something, well, I love covering Hollywood true crime, so yeah, we'll definitely check that out. But I've never liked his old lady at all, ever. I could just tell that, but I've always felt sorry for him and, and his condition and, to be that famous as a little kid. He was famous. Like we can't say he wasn't famous. Like he was super famous. In my generation, like everybody knew who Gary Coleman was. Everyone said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Everybody knew what that was. And then when Todd Coleman went off the deep end, oh man, I forgot about this story. Oh my God, this is a trip. I just remembered this story. So this is one of my Hollywood stories. So I moved into this shitty apartment in North Hollywood. I mean, this apartment was crappy. I mean, it was super crappy. And hold on, let me just take care of this real quick. So I move in and my wife fell asleep on the couch. This is my wife who passed away. She fell asleep on the couch and I was in the bedroom, and it's like 2 a.m. and I just hear it boom, 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 boom on my door. And I go to open the door and it's Todd Coleman. It's the the dude Willis from Different Strokes. And he was like, oh, hey man, is so-and-so here? And he was high AF. He's like, hey man, is so-and-so here? And I was like, whoa, you're Willis, dude. You're Willis. And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, no, man, we just moved in. I was like, are you good? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm good. He just like took off. And my wife, I just remember, I'm just thinking about my wife, rest in peace. She just looked at me. She's like, who is that? And I was like, oh, that was just Willis, man. Willis thought we were his old crack dealer's house. I'm assuming that's why he was looking for the guy, because I'm assuming the guy who lived there sold crack. The neighbor upstairs, who was a famous actress from like the 1920s, living out her, on her SAG, living off of her SAG, the Screen Actors Guild pension, lived upstairs. Her name was, she was in all the original Phantom of the Operas back in like when it was silent, like silent movies. And she was so cool. But well, she was cool for a while. She'd always ask me if I would go to the store for her. This is the silent movie actress. She would always ask me to go to the store for her and to buy her to Trader Joe's to buy her a bottle of wine and some kind of snack. I can't remember what the snack was. And she'd always give me money to do it, and I would go for her. But her and I had a falling out because I'd had like a little get together. It was late and we were loud, music and everything. And she didn't come down, but she sent our other neighbor over, and the chick knocked on the door with a hammer and put a hole in my door. She was like, bam, bam, and actually put a hole in the door. Anyways, we got into it. So we called the police, and the chick went to jail, and she was an old lady. She went to jail, and then her kids asked me, and they were adult kids, asked me if I dropped the charges, and I did. I just called the cops because she was like wielding this hammer and put a hole in the door, and I didn't know if she was gonna try to attack us. But anyways, I dropped the charge. I was like, no, I'm not. And this was before I became a bad guy and had like a code of, like not telling. Like I was a citizen at this point. I wasn't in the game, as you would say. So yeah, what a crazy man. Haven't thought about that forever, man. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Just checking the Chatty-O chat. Hey, James Collins cares. Good to see you, brother. Todd Bridges. Yes. Why? What did I say? Todd Coleman? No, it's Gary Coleman. Duh. Yeah. Todd Bridges, man. Yeah. It was pounding on my door. Yeah. It was nuts. The chief of police. Is that who got 15 months? Charlemagne. Just looked up that case. Yeah, that is too much for me too, Cat K. Here we go. Here's a comment I missed. I will give you. Nope, I didn't miss that. Well, guys, Massachusetts is full of weirdos, man. I've told you guys in federal prison, like with the Boston guys, all the West Coast guys, because I'm from LA, all the West Coast guys, we had it was like an instant beef with the Boston dudes. Like instant. We just instantly didn't like each other. I did like one guy though. I was in a federal prison in West Virginia, and where they actually killed Whitey Bulger. I was in that prison in West Virginia, and I was friends with the Boston dude, and he was cool as a fan, and he understood just like me. We were like, what's the beef? Why do we like instantly don't like each other? And he always said it's because the guys from the West Coast are always real aggressive in the way they talk, and you know what I mean. They want to be the the big banana in the house, and the shot callers and the what do you call it? The alpha males of the units. And you get two lions in a cage, it's a beef. It's just automatic. There's no talking about it. It's just an instant beef. And although I'm not like super aggressive, I am super charismatic, right? And so they would take that as aggressive. But me and this dude both understood that that it was instant. So him and I got along really good because we could identify the issue. Because you walk into a situation like all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a Boston car here, the Boston dudes, and you're just like, oh yeah, like yeah, F them, F those dudes. Oh, the West Coast dude. Oh, Sam's from the West Coast. Yeah, book that dude. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's tough. I don't know, man. Prison's dumb. That's why I am never going back. That's why this is after the bars, not before the bars or during the bars or on your way to the bars. This is after the bars. See you later. Sayonara. Peace out, Girl Scouts. I want no part of it at all. You know what I mean? What? Oh, shit. Yeah, life is a trip. Life's a beach and then you drown. Please make sure to hit that like button. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm gonna give you something guys to either love or hate. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel to grow bigger and better and more diverse. Not that weird, creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. You want to hear some Samsplaining? Just like the video down below. All right, there. That'll give you something to hate. Here, please smash that unlike button. What would you even call that button? I guess, yeah, the unlike button. No, don't press that one. Press the like button. I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel. Yeah, it just really does. I don't ask for super chats. They're always appreciated. Gifted memberships are always appreciated. I guess at this point with the channel, I'd rather have gifted memberships than super chats, just because it gives you guys like a reason to come back and watch some of the shows. But to be honest, before you gift them, I don't have any members only content yet. I've been promising it since December, and I don't know. I'm working on it. I keep going back and forth on what to do for members only content. I think a call-in show is going to be the deal, but then I just think like I don't want to leave everybody out of the call-in show, but I think there's going to have to be something, or else there's no reason to become a member except for to support the show. So and I think everyone's kind of just agreed to that's how it's going to be. It's just support for now, but as Danette and John and a few others will tell you, I am a whack job, but I'm a really nice guy. Just ask me, I'll tell you. But guys, hey Kim, good to see you. Sorry you're late. I'm just getting ready to shut it down. Kim, hopefully you sent me that email we talked about yesterday. I'm going to look as soon as we're done, and I got to look up Sadie Perkins. Is that the name? I'm going to look up Sadie Perkins when I'm done, and we'll see, man. I'll try to have another show today. Got to get a hold of Jen Marie. We did talk the other day, but I haven't talked to her in a little bit. Misha says, come and do your deep dive pre-records and release them a week later for public. Do your deep dive pre-records and release them a week later for public. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Misha. I don't understand the question. Do your deep dive pre-records and release them a week later for public. I think it's the question mark that's throwing me off. Oh yes, I get it. No, that's a great idea, actually. Kind of like I did for the doctor video. That's nuts. You know what? That's God telling me something, because my wife and I just talked about that before I went live, because we're trying to figure out ways to streamline the show where it doesn't take up so much time, because I can't afford help it yet. Eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to. That's the plan. I know other creators who kind of do the same thing I do, except for without a community, do more of the pre-recorded shows. And I'm down to do that, and maybe just do 1 or 2 live shows where I get to talk to you guys and laugh with you guys. I don't know. But I'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to change the outro to one of the better outros. Stay loud, don't be woke. Yeah, we'll play that today for the Friday. I have been playing my new outro lately. I kind of like it, but man, I'm just in love with this one because this was the beginning, right? This was the outro I played once I left. Me and TS broke up, in that very sad breakup that we had. This was the new outro that I made. Did you know one of the Alberts drove drunk and hit someone and killed the guy? Look that up. He left the scene of the accident. I did hear about that. I never looked it up though. I just heard about that like a couple days ago. I think it was Chris. I think it was the councilman dude. I'm almost positive it was Chris. Yeah. Maybe I'll look that up and we'll talk about that. I'll do a Karen Reed who's who video. That would be cool. And then just talk about any controversy with each person that I can find. That would be cool. Thank you so much for that recommendation. Hope you don't mind the short I released this morning with you and it's him. What? No, I'm gonna go check it out though. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, I don't mind. It's an honor. If I'm using the right word, if I'm using that correctly. Yeah, so thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, Samsters. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you guys have a lovely, lovely weekend. I actually hope to see you again before the weekend, but it's always just a hope and a dream that I have at the end of every show. Until next time, I am Sam. This has been After the Bars. You guys take care. Be kind. Be intrusively kind to others. Don't let them push you away. Because if they're pushing you away, they need some kindness in their life. And remember, be kind to yourselves because that's the hardest kind of kindness to have, I guess, is the right word. I don't know. I better go before I embarrass myself.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake. This was more